A desk, a laptop, open. Work is on the screen. Daniel is not looking at it. He is looking at his phone, face up. He knows he put it face up on purpose. He has not admitted this to himself. He turns it face down, returns to the screen. 30 seconds pass. He turns it face up again. He does this the way men do things they are trying not to notice themselves doing. On his desk, 3 sticky notes, a coffee mug, a phone charger coiled beside the laptop as if always ready, and, pinned to the corkboard above, her name, still at the top of an open messages thread. He has not unpinned it. He will not unpin it today.
There are men who do not look like they're waiting. They go to work. They answer when people speak to them. They make the right noises at the right times. They say, "I'm fine," with enough ease that no one thinks to question it. I was one of those men. What no one saw was the way I had quietly arranged my life around the hope of being chosen. How I kept one part of every evening open. How I checked my phone without meaning to. How I edited what I was going to say before I said it, always a little softer, always a little easier, so I would be simpler to keep. From the outside, that looks like patience. It looks like someone who knows how to love well. But sometimes it's something sadder than that. Sometimes it's a man living as if his worth is sitting in the empty chair across from him, waiting for someone else to arrive and confirm it.
A series of ordinary moments, each carrying more weight than it should. Daniel at his desk, phone face down. He flips it over after 40 seconds. A notification. Not her. He puts it down again. Daniel on the couch. A reply finally arriving after 6 hours. He answers in under a minute. He watches the double tick appear. He waits for the typing indicator. It doesn't come. He sets the phone down, carefully, as if the problem was the speed of his hands. Daniel, typing a message, staring at it, deleting it, typing a shorter one, deleting that too, sending something smaller than the truth. Daniel on the phone with a friend, laughing, fully present. The moment he hangs up, his face goes somewhere else entirely.
It had probably started long before her. Maybe in the years when being easy to be around felt safer than being honest. When approval came more quickly if you were useful, uncomplicated, steady, undemanding. At some point, without deciding to, I made a quiet vow. If I am good enough, patient enough, needed enough, maybe I won't be left behind. That vow followed me into every room I tried to share with someone. It showed up in the way I typed and deleted, the way I answered too fast and hated myself for it, the way I called my longing maturity, the way I confused not asking for things with being the kind of man worth keeping.
7:15 p.m. Daniel is dressed, keys on the counter. A friend had asked him out. A simple thing, just drinks, nothing complicated. He almost went. Then his phone lit up. One message. He reads it. We do not see the message. We see his face. He picks up his keys, sets them down, opens the fridge, closes it, sits on the edge of the couch, stands up again, straightens a pillow that didn't need straightening. He texts his friend, maybe another time. Then he waits. 9:45 p.m. Still nothing. He heats up leftovers he is no longer hungry for, eats standing at the counter, puts the plate in the sink. 10:30. He sits with a lamp on and a book open on his lap. He has not turned a page in 40 minutes. 11:15. He puts the book down, turns off the lamp, lies on his back in the dark. The second message never came.
She had said, "I might be free later." Might. One word. And I rearranged my entire evening around it. I didn't think of that as begging. I thought of it as being available, being flexible, being the kind of person who doesn't make things difficult. But lying there in the dark, I understood for the first time what I had actually done. I had offered my time to someone who hadn't asked for it, kept myself in reserve for someone who hadn't made room for me, cancelled a sure thing for a maybe. That's not flexibility. That's a man auditioning for a part he was never going to be cast in.
The kind of place chosen with care, not expensive, just right. Warm light, quiet enough to talk, small enough to feel intentional. Daniel arrives 8 minutes early. He knows arriving early exposes something. He does it anyway. The host shows him to a table for 2. A candle, 2 menus, 2 glasses of water already poured. Danielle sits, looks at the chair across from him. That familiar lift in his chest, the one he no longer trusts but has not yet learned to quiet. He straightens his cutlery, opens the menu, reads nothing. He glances at the door each time it opens, but he does this the way men do when they're trying not to seem like they're doing it.
I had chosen the restaurant because it was the kind of place where a conversation could breathe. I'd thought about what I was going to say. Not scripted, just clear. I wanted to say, I don't know where I stand with you, and I need to. I thought maybe tonight would feel different. Maybe tonight I'd stop feeling like someone being considered and start feeling like someone being kept.
7:48. The chair across from him is still empty. 7:52. Daniel's phone buzzes on the table. He reads it. We don't see the message. We see what it does to his face. Nothing dramatic. That's the thing. His expression does not collapse. He simply becomes very still. The kind of still that men learn when they've had a lot of practice absorbing things alone. He sets the phone face down on the table. A moment passes. The server approaches. She glances at the empty chair, briefly, professionally, and asks quietly, "Would you like me to clear the other setting?" Daniel looks at the chair. The second glass of water, untouched, the folded napkin, the menu still closed. The place set for someone who was never really on her way. A beat. He can't quite speak. Then, "Yes, please." The server lifts the water glass first, then the menu, then the napkin, then, slowly, with one hand, she pushes the chair back in. It is such a small movement, the sound of the chair legs against the floor. Daniel watches it happen. And something in him, something that has been holding a particular shape for a very long time, finally gives. Not loudly, not visibly, the way things break in men who have spent years making sure nothing shows.
It wasn't the cancellation. I'd been cancelled on before. I'd made peace with it, said it was fine, and believed myself. What broke me was the chair, the sound of it sliding in, the tidiness of it, the way the table looked complete again with just one setting, as if the second place had been an error someone had simply corrected. And sitting there, I saw the whole thing at once. How many times I'd held a place open for people who only came close when it suited them. How many evenings I'd lived half committed to my own life. How much of my steadiness had been spent making uncertainty feel acceptable. And underneath all of it, the thing I hadn't let myself see, I had slowly handed her the right to measure me. Every delayed reply had become a verdict. Every vague answer had become something I turned against myself. Every almost had taught me to work harder, ask softer, wait longer. And the deepest pain wasn't that she hadn't chosen me. It was realizing how willingly I had carried my own worth to someone else's door and stood there waiting for them to tell me what it was.
He orders. He eats, slowly, alone. He does not look at his phone. When he finishes, he pays, folds his jacket over his arm. He looks at the empty chair one more time. Then he walks out. He comes home, doesn't turn on many lights, sits on the edge of the bed. His phone is in his hand. He knows exactly what he wants to write. He types, looks at it. The message is careful, reasonable. The kind of thing that sounds measured on the surface and is still underneath a plea. He deletes it, writes another version, softer, less likely to push her away. Deletes that too. He puts the phone on the nightstand, face down this time without thinking about it. He doesn't send anything. He just sits there, lamp on, the room quiet around him.
I realized what I'd been doing. I wasn't trying to communicate. I was still trying to make myself easier to choose, still trimming my pain into something polite enough to be received, still hoping that if I handled disappointment gracefully enough, someone would finally handle me carefully in return. There's a version of love that asks you to keep shrinking, to make yourself low maintenance, agreeable, convenient, to call that patience, to call that maturity, to keep setting the table and act surprised when confusion sits down instead of peace. I'd been doing that for years. I didn't know what I was doing. That's the honest answer. I didn't know, but I knew it that night.
Danielle walks in alone, on purpose. The same host, the same room, the same warm light. The same server sees him and begins to reach for 2 menus, then catches herself. She hands him one. 1 menu, 1 glass. 1 chair left untouched across from him. He sits with it, the empty chair, doesn't look away from it. He had thought this would be harder. He had thought coming back would mean something needed to be resolved, some statement made, some feeling handled cleanly, but it's just a chair, and he is just a man who finally stopped pulling it out for people who weren't coming.
I grieved in that restaurant, not for her specifically, for all the versions of myself that had sat quietly in impossible situations and called it love. The man who kept his evenings open, the man who apologized for having needs, the man who said, "It's okay," so many times he stopped noticing when it wasn't. I sat with all of that, and I let it be what it was. Not a weakness, not a failure, but a long, quiet mistake made by someone who deserved better and didn't know yet that he was allowed to say so.
He orders, he eats, he doesn't rush. The chair across from him stays empty the whole time. It doesn't feel like loneliness. It feels like the first honest thing in a long time. His desk, the laptop, open, work on the screen. This time, he is looking at it. His phone is face down on the desk. He has not turned it over in an hour. He has not noticed that he hasn't. The cork board above his desk, her name is gone from the pinned messages. Not deleted, just unpinned. A small difference that meant everything. A text arrives from a friend. He reads it, replies immediately. Not from urgency, just because he wants to. He closes the phone and goes back to work. Later, he makes dinner. 1 plate, 1 glass, music on, low. He eats at his own table. The chair across from him is empty. He doesn't rearrange himself around it. He just eats, slowly, present. Here.
She sent a message a week later, casual, light, as if none of it had been heavy. I didn't ignore her. "I'm not interested in punishing anyone," I replied, briefly, kindly, truthfully. No hidden plea in the wording, no extra softness designed to earn better treatment next time. No more of myself than what was actually being met. That's all. That was the whole revolution. Real dignity is quiet. It doesn't need to make a speech. It doesn't need the other person to understand what shifted. It doesn't need revenge, or the last word, or to be witnessed. Sometimes it's just this: 1 message not sent, 1 evening not surrendered to a maybe, 1 chair left empty without it meaning something's wrong with you. 1 man sitting at his own table in his own life, no longer waiting for someone else to arrive and tell him he's worth staying for.
He finishes, clears his plate, rinses it, stands at the window for a moment. The street below. Ordinary life. Moving. He turns off the kitchen light, goes to his desk, gets back to work.